When it comes to traveling, we love taking different modes of transportation and have mastered finding flights, which we're going to share with you in today's video. To date, we've taken planes, trains, automobiles, streetcars, buses, golf carts, camels, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, bicycles, helicopter, tuk-tuks, boats, and our good old 2 feet. There's still some modes of transportation on our bucket list that we want to take, like space shuttle and transporter.
And you forgot to mention the scariest ferry ride of my life, from Honduras to Utila. We just had an hour ride of Brian was laughing the whole time and kept saying, "Isn't this fun?" I was freaking out. The waves were splashing in at like 12 feet. We were getting splashed on the upper deck. It was crazy. What's been your craziest transportation story? Let us know below.
Hey, I'm Brian Garcia.
And I'm Mary Nicole Vick. Welcome to Be Adventure Partners, where we believe all couples could
be where you want, when you want, together with your online business. When we're finding flights, we're normally working on different parts of the trip simultaneously. So while I'm right here actually searching for flights,
I'm over here searching for the perfect Airbnb.
We usually don't book a place to stay until we can match up the flight with the accommodation, because they all gotta line up. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified every single time we come up with a fresh, hot new video for you. And watch all the videos in this playlist, because we'll keep adding them as we go.
And if you stay to the end, we're gonna show you a super secret tip that is going to save you money and will help prevent flight prices from going up, because you're likely doing multiple searches for the same trip, right?
We like to use a couple different websites to see which one really gives you the best deal. The ones we use are Skyscanner, Expedia, and Google Flights. And we're actually gonna walk you through how we use all of them here in just a second.
Now, something to realize is there are hundreds of deal sites out there, so do your research, but we're just showing you what's really been working for us over the past few years that we've been traveling full time.
So let's get started by diving into Skyscanner. All right, so you just go to skyscanner.com. If you need the link to all of these, we actually have them down in the description, and some of them will probably give you a discount of some kind, so check that out. Once you're at Skyscanner, you get to choose. Do you need flights, hotels, car rental? We're gonna focus on flights here, so just click that tab and you'll notice that it's a little darker color. Round trip, one way, multi-city. We're normally traveling full time, so we're doing one ways from one country to the next or one city to the next. So we're going to use one way in this example. Right now we're in Toronto and we want to go to, in this case, Managua, Nicaragua. So if these aren't pre-populated for you, simply click in any of them and you can just type in where it is that you want to go, and then it'll start to drop down suggestions for you. So we're going to click Managua there. Depart, you've got a couple different options here. If you're leaving on a very specific day, like you know you are going to leave on a certain day, then just select the day here. You can select different months right here. So like, let's say we're gonna leave in January, and let's say we're gonna leave January 17th. So we selected that. If you're not sure which day you want to leave, but you kind of have an idea of what month you want to go, click on whole month, and you can just search by the cheapest month or select the month that you know that you're going. So in this case, we'll select January in that case, and then it's going to give us a whole list. Check this out. Because we're doing a one way, it's going to pre-populate one way here, and we're 2 grown adults here, so we're gonna set this to 2. And then you can also set which class you want if you like as well. So we're gonna just keep it economy and then click search. So as soon as it loads, scroll down into the month and it's going to give you some potential days. You're gonna see that the green ones are the lowest price and the red ones are the highest price. If you don't see a price, you just have to click the date and click show flights. So let's say we want to choose a super inexpensive one. So we wanted to leave around the 17th, but it's gonna be a little cheaper, about 110 bucks cheaper or so to leave on the 8th. Is that a big difference? No, let's just pick the 17th. So we're gonna go click show flights now. And as that loads, you're gonna notice that there's 3 categories here. You've got the best flight, the cheapest flight, and the fastest flight. A lot of times the cheapest flight is a very long duration because they have very long layovers at the different airports.
Or multiple layovers.
Yeah, so in this case, this one's 19 hours. I'm not in the mood to hang out and travel for 19 hours. I kind of want to get to where we're going and experience the place.
So we like to uncheck 2+ stops and just go with 1 stop because that's usually all we're willing to do.
Another thing you can do is drag the trip duration down. So for the maximum trip duration, let's say you don't want to travel more than like half a day. So we'll put 12 hours here, and then it's going to update it here on the right. So we're going to look here. This one has 1 stop. That might be the one that we end up going with. It leaves at 3:10 p.m. and arrives at 9:35 p.m. It's got 1 stop. So basically all you would do is click select, and then from there you can look at the details of where the connection's at for this particular flight. So now to check this against Expedia, now we just have to go to Expedia and set the same dates.
Something that we like to really look at is for the connection length of time. We've been on flights before where the flight leaves late, and if you only have an hour or even half an hour to get onto your connecting flight, then there's a good chance you're going to miss your next flight. So we usually like to leave a little bit of bumper room and try to pick a layover that is a bit longer, like
a couple
3
hours.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over to Expedia now, and we're gonna enter in this exact same search criteria to see what Expedia is offering. So we're gonna go to expedia.com. You can also use the link down in the description. Select flights. We're gonna do one way. In this case, we're leaving Toronto. And let's see, YYZ, Pearson, there we go. And we're gonna go to Managua, Nicaragua. And departure date. So in order to get apples to apples, you have to look at the same date. If you want to look at various different dates, then just have the calendars up and you can compare them. But in this case, it was the 17th. And so far, it is cheaper by quite a bit. So the 17th,
like almost $100.
Yeah, so $297. If we come back here, we were getting $339 on that one. So let's go back. The 17th, we'll select that of January, and one way. All right, 2 adults, and search. So while this is populating, just know that not all the travel sites will offer the same airlines. And so if the same airline's not on there, you're not gonna have an exact apples to apples comparison. But if they've got a better deal, then who cares what airline? Maybe it's one that you know is a good airline. If there's a list of airlines that you know, like, oh, I will never travel on these airlines ever again, guess what? Don't travel on those because you've had personal experience with it. In this case, we're gonna just see what's available.
Something that you're gonna wanna consider when going to certain countries is having a proof of onward travel. Not all countries expect this of you when you're going through customs, but some countries do. So something that we like to do, and especially with Expedia, is check it out. They have a free cancellation policy within 24 hours. So what we'll do is we'll book a ticket to anywhere close to the country that we're going so that we can max out our visa and stay for almost the full 90 days or 30 days or whatever that country allows. So what we'll do is on the 30th day, we'll plan a trip for a cheap price, a throwaway ticket, we like to call it, and book that. And then once you get through customs, you can cancel it. Just make sure if you need proof of onward travel that you have it.
All right, so now that we've got a baseline with Skyscanner and with Expedia, let's go to Google Flights and see if they've got a better deal. So we're leaving from Toronto, a one-way ticket with 2 passengers, 2 adults, and economy, Toronto to Nicaragua, Managua, and we're leaving on
January 17th.
January 17th. So let's go over to January. Next month. There we go. And 17th.
Woo!
So the total price is going to be $785. So we'll click done on that. Yeah, so this is the total price for 2. So now all you do is just compare the prices and see, your leaving time, when you're going to arrive, how many stops do you have, how long is it, and that is exactly how we do our flight search.
Okay, time for the big secret. What you want to do is search for all of your flights in Google Chrome's incognito windows. So what you do is for every single search you do, open up a separate window in incognito so that the sites can't cookie you. What they do is they'll cookie you and then flights can go up. They will literally inflate prices because every time you do a new search, they will see that and they will jack up the price.
And this goes for all the different ones. So if you're in Skyscanner, not in incognito, and then you go to Expedia, they're tracking you, the different websites are. So after you do a search in Skyscanner in the incognito window, you just saw how I got there by clicking the 3 dots and then new incognito window. Then you need to close this window down and then open a new one. Don't have multiple incognito windows open because that'll mess it up.
Yeah, pretty sneaky way to put on the pressure.
And a great way to keep your prices consistent. Something I like to do before arriving to a country for the very first time is find a safe way to get from the airport to our first Airbnb. Now, if the flight that you're taking is to a city that you're not really wanting to spend time with, we normally schedule at least 1 night to 2 nights in that city before making onward travel, because if the flights are delayed for any reason and it's out of your control because of weather or flight things that happen at the airports, mechanical problems, you can't control that. But you can check into an Airbnb at pretty much any time during the day. I know that we've not had a problem yet with checking in even at odd hours like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we never want to be rushed. So something that we really like to do is just ask the host if they can set up some kind of safe transportation for us when we arrive at the airport to get to their place. And usually they have a great recommendation and they'll offer something for a small fee.
Or they'll even say, hey, just use Uber. It's cheap and it's convenient, because a lot of these big cities now are using Uber. So make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the travel planning series. These are seriously some pretty ninja moves that we've acquired over the last couple years of traveling nonstop.